headed for the unusually populated bar. Austin kept his expression mild even as his features ached to threaten each and every arsehole in the vicinity with a look. One that said, "Ah, gents, put your wedding rings back on. The sleek beauty you've been ogling 5 nights straight is mine. She just hasn't come round to the idea yet." Bit of an under-exaggeration, unfortunately. When Polly looked at him, Austin could feel her disdain like a blast from a fire hose. It was jarring, really. He'd encountered many reactions from the fairer sex: astonishment, attraction, nervousness. What he wouldn't give to inspire nerves from Polly. He'd know just what to do with them, and his process involved a distinct lack of clothing, possibly a piece of leather for her to bite down on when overcome by pleasure. Austin took a sip of Johnny Walker to stifle the groan building in his throat. He and Ms. Banks were nowhere near nudity and leather. Yet, unfortunately. Instead, he was in disguise, watching her play a game in which he could easily assist her, if she didn't liken him to pond scum. Really, he'd had no choice to make an alternate impression on the sassy bit of goods with a mind that rivaled even his own. Both of them had been brought to Chicago upon being issued ultimatums: prison time or working undercover to put criminals, such as themselves, but with significantly fewer accolades, behind bars. He and Polly, along with 4 other victims, had been sent to purgatory. "Atoning for their sins," their leader, Captain Derek Tyler, had put it. Austin disguised his snort with a cough. Sins were only sins if someone was watching, and he was usually long gone before his marks caught on. Do unto others, then disappear, a motto that had served him quite well, until recently, when the law had put a target on his back, making the world that was once his endless playground a damn sight smaller. Sometimes he even let the cops think he hadn't orchestrated his own arrival in Chicago, that he hadn't been drawn here by news of a loose end, left undone during his last con, a living, breathing loose end named Gemma. Austin showed zero reaction when the door at his back opened, allowing the bite of fall to swirl into the bar, cooling his neck. When Polly clicked past in high heels, however, reacting was a necessity. Any man who didn't show a reaction to a modern, sexualized version of Snow White, well, that man would make the chess pieces in place around him suspicious. Suspicion was the enemy to cons everywhere. And being a formidable con of great reputation, Austin let the glass pause halfway to his mouth as he considered Polly's ass on her way to the opposite end of the bar, even threw in a conspiratorial salute to the group of businessmen drinking the liquor he'd paid for as they did the same. God damn it, he'd never felt an ounce of possessiveness over another human being in his 31 years, but just then he wanted more than anything to walk up behind Polly, wrap an arm around her hips, and drag her back against his lap. Look those tossers right in the eye as he licked up the side of her smooth neck. "Mine, you pathetic drunks. You wouldn't last a minute up against the brilliance of how she thinks, how she reasons and makes decisions. Piss right off." When the tumbler shook in Austin's hand, he quickly set it down and looked busy going through his cell phone. He put the device to his ear and turned sideways, away from Polly, but at an angle that allowed him to watch her through the bar's back mirror. He'd taken great pains applying the phony beard and gray wig so she wouldn't recognize him, but he wouldn't take any chances. If she made him, there wouldn't be a hope in hell of him discerning her game. Anxious, the hacker who had once breached the White House's technological firewalls was actually anxious, which made him jumpy. Fucking hell, he didn't do jumpy. Rule number 1, however, was knowing the lay of the land before running an operation, and he had no clue what Polly's game was. A gut feeling told Austin he'd find out tonight. "Here, kitty kitty." Polly Banks ordered a dry white wine and crossed her legs in what probably looked like slow motion.